Guys, we got a mass layoff over in Texas, right? We've already been talking about the trucking companies. We've already been talking about the trucking recession and everything right now that is going on within the industry in 2025. And it's crazy. A lot of them have been affected. A lot of them have shut down, and some of them are actually thriving. But right now we have a Texas company who is laying off pretty much their entire team before the end of the year. Now they announced the amount of layoffs. They said over a dozen. They're cutting dozens of jobs before the end of the year. Now the company name is Firebird Bulk Carriers. You guys can see it right here on the screen. They're based in Dayton, Texas, and they're going to lay off a total of 74 employees across several sites, and they're going to start that beginning December 1st, and it's going to conclude by December 30th. Now, as we dig deeper into the document, and I'm going to link it on this video as well so you guys can check it out, but they said in a letter to the officials, they blamed the cuts on the loss of 1/3 of his contracts and rising insurance costs. So we've seen this story multiple different times, right? Multiple different times, multiple different scenarios where they talk about losing contracts, losing, freight, losing businesses with other businesses that they're transporting freight, right? We've seen this many different times, and I'm not a trucking expert. I'm just bringing you guys the news as to what's going on. But when we talk about that, along with insurance costs, and we've seen insurance costs skyrocketing within multiple different sectors, where when we talk about health insurance, when we talk about car insurance, and even, business insurance, right? With the trucking and all these different things. We've seen this happen across the board, along with fuel costs and many other facets, right? But they listed those two things as the main reasons why they're laying off and shutting down. Well, I don't think they're shutting down the company, but they're laying off these people, right? They did say the company describes the layoffs as permanent. All right, the largest group affected is 31 employees. They're going to be over in Carrizo Springs, and the smallest number is in all these other, states right here. But they did say most of the employees losing their jobs are truck drivers. But if you are supervisors, mechanics, and administrative workers also impacted, and the rest of it follows as it goes. But at the end of the day, when we talk about these different things, a lot of these layoffs, a lot of these companies shutting down, we've seen so many factories be shut down this year alone. It is so sad, and it's so crazy to see how many lives are affected. And as a matter of fact, as we dive a little bit further into the document, they also list some of the places that have been, affected by layoffs as well. They said the layoffs came amid a broader wave of job cuts across Texas transportation, energy, and logistics sectors in the recent months. They said in October, which we already made a video about this, ConocoPhillips, the Houston-based oil giant, they announced plans to cut up to a quarter of its global workforce. And also Accelor Group, a Dallas logistics contractor for Amazon. And we didn't make a video about this because it's a contractor from Amazon, whatever, it's a small, smaller sector of, their transportation, but they eliminate 214 delivery jobs within North Texas as well. And these are just a few. And we've already made videos about, what the Texas job market looks like. But here's what truckers actually have to say about this as we speak.
It is definitely official for all the truck drivers. This is something I'm putting you on alert on, and I'm letting you know. We are in a freight recession. I know this for a fact because we just had a meeting. Not only we just had a meeting, we just talked about the state of the economy right now. It is real bad. Not only bad, but we're comparing. They was basically showing the charts of all the other companies. Nobody is off limits. You got FedEx going through it. Old Dominion, UPS. We already know UPS is going through it. They already off 48,000. Good part is my company I'm with so far, they ain't let nobody go, but people are staying home. And when I say staying home, if you remember, I received a phone call back a good 2 months ago. But now we at a point now where it's this is something that's right there now at our footsteps now. We will be told to stay home just to make sure that we get our hours. But at the same time, it's not enough freight. You might be in a market right now where as though you might be booming in your area. Don't compare your area to the rest of the world.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was just about to follow up as well. I'm not going to come out here and spread misinformation and say that everybody in every area and every company is dealing with, right? Because you might be working for a company, especially if you're a trucker. Let me know in the comment section below, right? If you might be working for a company that is booming right now, that might have plenty loads, plenty money, plenty hours, plenty overtime, or whatever you want to say it, you might be working in an area like this, right? But what I'm saying is, on the overall general sense, you are seeing many different companies, many different layoffs, many different, decrease within this field. And it's affecting so many different people around the entire industry.
The overall majority of the people around the whole overall, like when it comes to the US, it's not making out like they were a good 2 years ago or so. But this is where we at now. This is why I say be mindful of the money you spending right now. I know you want Thanksgiving. I know you want to have everybody at the table, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the time to be up there flossing saying, well, I'm going to do what I got to do. All right, keep doing that. Go and kill yourself. Be smart.
Yeah, and I can only imagine the people who invested into trucking, right, before because there was a period where it was like super popular to go into trucking, and you were gonna make six figures. You get into trucking, you get your own truck, you get your own trailer, and then you can, go out here and there was a gold mine. And not saying that it's not a gold mine anymore by any means, but it's more competitive, one, right? Because you have a lot of those startup companies, and two, yeah, you have a lower amount of freight in certain different areas and facets of the government, especially when we talk about things like tariffs and the economy as a whole, right? Where we are right now.
Is this really a recession? This is the first time I'm done in a while at 150. All done already. Look, I think people are really struggling, and it's showing. Look at my truck. Those are all pickups. Usually I'm done like at 7, 8 o'clock at night. And this was like this yesterday. So I don't know what's going on. Might have to cancel Christmas.
Now, this guy right here, he posted this video last week, and he said it was like that yesterday. And by all means, he's done by 1 o'clock, I think he was saying. And most of the time when we talk about UPS drivers, they start work around between 7 and 8. I guess it depends on the facility which you were at, right? And I know that because I used to work at UPS. And by all means, I'm not saying that every single worker is dealing with this. Please do not misconstrue this. But on the whole, to see where we are right now, today is November 17th, and to see this is looking like this 2 weeks ago, we can only conclude and we can infer and make an inference that, yes, this is November. We are in the holiday, pretty much in the holiday season. People are not spending money like how they were in previous years. This is what we are. Like, we got to be real and say it what it is. And, when I come out here and I see videos like this, and I see Trump on the flip side, he's saying, oh, as the job market is unfolding, right? I got to add that extra context as well. I come out and see videos like this where Trump says that we don't have talent in America. So he's trying to import talent from China. I think it was like 600,000 students from China. He was trying to import them over to America to fill certain talents. Let's check this out.
If you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
This idea that American citizens don't have the talent to do great things, that you have to import a foreign class of servants and professors to do these things, I just reject that. I actually think we invest in our own people, we can do a lot of good.
Now, listen, just to see this whole flip, and this just shows where the divide is, right? Like, and I get where he's coming from. Like, maybe it's kind of like the battery factory that they shut down over in Georgia, right? The Hyundai factory where the South Koreans were imported over there, and they were brought to pretty much train the workers, right? Because they were building batteries and they didn't have the training. So he brought them over to learn those different things, and now they sent them off, right? Like, come on, what are we talking about? Which makes sense, right? You got to train them. But on the flip side, you got JD Vance who's saying, oh, no, we don't need the servants. We don't need those peasants, right? Like, those are the words that JD Vance decided that he wanted to use, right? Like, come on, this is what I mean when I say, like, the divide, the division, it is so bad to the point to where they're not even on the same page, and everybody's just talking and pointing the fingers, and then when it falls back on them, it's like is what it is. But anyways, I got more stories about the job market. Let's dive into it.
I just got rejected from an internship that I interviewed with last week, and they sent me the rejection email at 11:30 last night. They just said, oh, we found someone with more qualifications, but we'll keep your file on record or something like that. When the fuck did I give backup? Like, I don't want to work for y'all anymore. Also, is this not an internship? Like, why are you looking for experience? This is where I get the experience.
Yep, and she's a backup in the job market. What?
So I'm a technical recruiter, and I have lost my job 3 times over the last year and a half. I've essentially been unemployed for the better part of a year and a half now. And I'm getting to the point where I'm just really struggling to keep on applying to jobs and not hearing back from like 90% of them, and then making it through interviews just to like get rejected. And I keep thinking like, oh, I need to change my career path. I need to figure something else out. And I just don't know what to do, because I want to make enough money to like comfortably live my life in San Diego, but I just don't know what the fuck I want to do. What are people doing? How are people getting jobs in this job market?
Yeah, people aren't. I mean, some people are getting jobs, right? I think it just depends on the person and which, facets of the field that they are in, right? What are their skills, and what are they actually, what are they doing, right? What are you specialized within? Within the field? Because as a technical recruiter, which is what she was saying she did, or maybe that was a previous video, right? As a technical recruiter, they're getting replaced by AI, right? Like, I didn't even know that was possible, but we've seen that happen amongst many different, facets of the tech industry. Right now, it's happened across the board. Like what Amazon just did with laying off 600,000 workers over the next like 2-3 years, right? With that announcement alone, that has led so many companies around, whether we talk about, tech companies or just regular companies as a whole, that has opened the door and opened the floodgates for so many people and companies to just flood in and do mass layoffs with whatever role they want to. Because what Amazon, they announced that they said specifically they were trimming the fat from all of the workers that they hired during the pandemic time. And we know it. That was a booming time for the tech industry. So now they are trying to cut it back. It's crazy. And like I said, I think it only gets worse from here, but only time can truly tell.